It was the debut for that song, so that's the first time that song has been heard by anybody, which is great for us because that's what we like to do here. We like to debut stuff here on Heat Morning Radio. So tell us a little bit about that song, how that song came about, what was the concept behind it, and how you got hooked up with Stunner.
For real. Me and Merch was watching a movie. That's how I came up with the song. Right, we was watching a movie. That's why in the beginning of the song, it's like a murder scene from a movie. So we watching a movie for real, and I'm like, damn, I could kind of like put that into a song. You feel me? The way he just did that, like put it together. You feel me? Cause that's like it's exactly what you gotta do if you ever. You feel me? So like I do that in the beginning. We listening to it how it sound together. We like, oh yeah, that shit hard. Like I need to figure out what I gotta do with the rest of it. And then see my young boy Merch. That's like I be with him like every day for real. You feel me? We had caught a gun case last year. We caught a gun case. He lost his mom at the same time. Like literally, like you feel me? He lost his mom while me and him was in custody for a gun case. You feel me?
Wow.
Right. So like when we came home to no mom. Like shit, you feel me? Go in with your mom and come home, but no, never see you. You feel me? So like I've gone through. I've seen a lot. You feel me? Like you feel me? I be outside. You feel me? I be with the right. So like we're going through that. That's why so much of like. I put him so much in the song, you feel me? That song really for him, you feel me? Like where it takes about his situation. And I'm like, my man's him and Stunner, that's his right hand man, you feel me? That's like his young, you feel me? My man Cap, he from North Carolina. I've been out in North Carolina a lot, Salisbury. That's where Stunner and them from. Okay. So I gotta like that's like one of my best friends too, is one of his best friends. So I call him like, yo, you 4 times hop on this real quick. So you feel me? I sent him a check, you feel me? Sent him like couple bands, you feel me? He hopped on that thing for me real quick, sent me the verse back. He was in the studio out Houston with the baby when I talked to him. I was in Denver. I had just went to Cali with Merch. It was Merch's birthday. We went to Cali for Merch's birthday. We out there, we was in the studio with P&B Rock all night out there trying to do a song. Then I left from there and go to Denver and do a song with Stunner while he was in Houston, you feel me? We just did it while we was on the phone with each other, like type shit. Like he doing his verse, I'm doing mine, we coincide, making it match up, you feel me? And boom, that's how the song came about.
Cool. So, with that being said, and you just broke down that song, and I like that song. You know, it's my first time hearing it too, because I didn't actually preview him before I came. I wanted to listen to him with you guys here, and I like the song, and I like the concept, and I like how you just broke down how the song came about. So, young people, if you listening, and I know you are, you have to have a method to your madness. There has to be a story behind your music. And I'm not necessarily saying that you have to tell a story, literally tell the story in your music, but you saw how easy it was for him to just say he was here, a Stunner was there. He sent him the verse, he sent him the music, and they were back and forth on the phone. Those are the type of connections that you need to make and able to be successful in this game, in this society, in general. Now, with you knowing those people, you said Stunner was with the baby, so I'm sure there are some people that you know or know of. And just coinciding with where the NBA players have now taken a stand on social injustice, or systematic racism, whatever choice you want to make. How do you feel that their stance will impact some of the young people that you know, just by them being NBA players? Because we all know,
I know a lot of NBA players.
We look up to the NBA players.
I know a lot of NBA players, like we real good friends. Like they call me on FaceTime all the time. Like, we post my music for me, all that. Like a lot of NBA players, you feel me? Like, because I played for Takeover. I ain't just play basketball. I was good. Like it was.
Right.
I have several NBA players on my team, like Jeremy Grant, Victor Oladipo, Mike Benijay, Mikhail Hopkins. We was all on the same team. Darian Atkins.
He dropping gems.
Yeah. We all played on the same team. You feel me? So I know them. So I talk to them about certain stuff, especially Jeremy Grant. That's my cousin. You feel me? So I talk to him a lot about a lot of stuff. You feel me?
I wish Jeremy Grant was still here, playing for the Sixers. He needs some help.
Yeah.
And you know, I just gotta say, shout out to Jeremy Grant. You said Victor Oladipo, but shout out to Jeremy Grant for the time that you were here, what you gave us, and how you have evolved as a player. It could have been used right now. So that's another story. I can go on and on about how the Sixers season played out this year. How things went wasn't pretty, but so with those guys having your back.
Jeremy big on the Black Lives Matter. He go to the walks, all that type of stuff. You feel me? Like where he big on charity and doing stuff for black community. Or he real
So
big on it.
how does that make you feel, knowing? Because when I talk about these things, I always get, every once in a while, I get one or two people that feel or don't believe that it affects people at that level. And I'm talking about as far as tax rate.
They NBA players, but they
Absolutely.
also normal people.
But he wasn't always an NBA player.
Right, exactly.
Like I said, and he's a black man before he's an NBA player.
Exactly.
So how does that make you feel, being that close to Jeremy Grant, or as close to Jeremy Grant as you are, knowing his efforts and now seeing the efforts of other players that you may not know? How does that make you feel about the movement?
It's what's up. It's what's up because honestly, them being NBA players, they don't really have the endeavors that we do as black men every day. You feel me? Like, you not saying that they don't, because they are black men. So anything could happen to them, and they get ridiculed in their own ways, and they got their own stuff that they go to. But you know what I mean, as far as the encounters with the police, not it's very rare for you even see them getting into an encounter with the police, rather than to the kid that lives on this block, to this drug infested area that gets into encounters with the police every day. You feel me? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, so like, I'm sure it makes them feel good. You feel me? It makes me feel good. You feel me? Well, where I don't live in Trenton no more. I moved to Atlanta. I live in Atlanta now, so you feel me? I ain't involved in nothing that go on or nothing. But it makes everybody feel good though. You feel me? As a community, because like you know that even though they not here with y'all, they here with y'all. You feel me? Like even though they somewhere else living this way that they living in mansions and all, but they still here with y'all though. So when y'all have y'all movements and y'all walks and they come to them type, that's how they letting y'all know that we're still people. You feel me? Like we're still part of what's going on. We just can't make ourselves vulnerable to certain stuff. Because I'm an NBA player, you feel me? People that's gonna hate and try to do this and try to do that. So I can't be in every place and that every, you know what I mean? But they be there and they be watching them and they be involved behind closed doors. You feel me? So,
you know, and I'm glad you said that, because I know now that you see it firsthand. And a lot of people take for granted what you just said. The simple fact that he is a black man. He hasn't always been an NBA player, but now he is. And people have to understand that, like you just said, there are certain situations where I just can't put myself in because of who I am.
People out looting, doing all types, you feel me? NBA players can't be out there and then somebody get the looting and all that, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
They got their name caught up in something that they ain't had nothing to do with, or just made their organization not look the way that it's supposed to look.
Yeah. Caller, Heat 100 Radio, caller, state your name and where you're calling from. Go ahead, I hear you. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Can you hang up and call us right back? Oh wait, here we go. Hello? Are you still there? No, somebody's trying to call in. Let me see. Yeah, hang up, give us a second, hang up and call us right back when nobody else is on the line trying to get in, and I can pull you in. Alright, we got another caller. Hello, caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
It's tweaking. Tell him, hold on.
I heard Rico from the drive.
Me too. I can't hear him.
Can't really hear him. Yeah, his phone is not, the speaker is not working on his phone for some strange reason. I hear you, Rico. It's just real low. We trying to work some things out right now. Give us a second and call us right back. I'm going to try and get this speaker phone working again.
Call back in. Give us a second. Everybody call in, man. I just posted the number too on my
Hello? Call us. State your name, where you calling from.
This Chevy, I'm calling from Brooklyn.
All right, we got you. Brooklyn. What's going on?
Yeah, I just want to shout out the whole C's job.
Yeah.
C's
job.
Crazy. So was fire.
Brooklyn, what's up, Brooklyn love? What's happening?
We tapped that, bro. we
You know-
tapped in. I got all my people's tapped in, you heard?
Yeah.
Going up.
They don't not be in Brooklyn like that, huh, Chevy? I'm really outside.
Yeah, you everywhere, bro. They don't know. They
No
gonna find
kidding.
out, though, you heard? We
Right.
happy.
Love you, boy.
Heard for the third of the job, you heard?
Yep.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
All right, caller from Brooklyn. Thanks for calling in. So we had a call. We got another caller that's gonna call in, and like I said, we had some technical, but I think we got it worked out now. So how does that feel now for someone to just hear that song and then like immediately people are calling in? I'm sure that makes you feel very proud of your work.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it feel good. You know, this is my first radio interview. I just started rapping for I got invited to like a couple podcasts or something like that. I got invited to go perform somewhere, but I ain't even go for you know, I ain't too social.
The
So
number
I feel
again
good.
is 215-221-9435. 215-221-9435. So we had some people calling, and you see, folks, his range. He said he's been rapping for
2 months.
2 months, and he's got reach now up and down the East Coast. He lives in Atlanta. He's frequently in North Carolina.
Yeah,
That
all the
call
time.
was from New York, so that's pretty much the East Coast.
Yeah, I lived in
Eastern
New York
border.
for 5 years.
And he lived in New York for 5 years, so that's basically the East Coast, up and down. Caller, state Eat 100 Radio. Caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
What's going on? This Nino from Oakland. You feel me? It's Big Bro. What's going on, guys?
What's up, boy? Ooh.
Up for the guys, man.
Yeah, I got Lil on here too. Ooh.
Oh, we know the vibe.
What you on? What you on? You in the trenches?
I'll let you. You doing your thing.
Alright, gang.
All right, thanks for calling in. So you have your people calling in, and let's get back to the NBA players again for a second. A lot of them, like you said, like we've seen, have more recently, as far as with the Jacob Blake shooting, took a more impactful stand where they postponed games, playoff games, and they got to the table and they talked about it, and they laid down some stipulations in order for them to resume play. I went through some of those stipulations earlier. Now, one of the stipulations that I thought was very, very important was the fact that they want to start a social justice coalition, and they want to incorporate people from players, coaches, and governors, which I think is very important, because the majority of the time when that happens, we get people who are not really involved beginning or attempting to make decisions on what goes on with us. Give me 1 second, got another call.
Call it.
P100 Radio, caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
This Rico from the drive.
Rico.
Speakers right.
Yep, we got it right. We can hear you now.
Alright, yeah. I was just calling to give a shout out to my boy, Official Loco, man. The hottest
Absolutely.
rapper. Man, home
C4L.
trust.
Yes,
Rico,
sir.
what's going on? You alright?
Yeah, I just wanted to call, show some love. That's all, gang. Keep doing what you're doing. You feel me?
Yeah, love
That's
you,
right.
boy.
Get everybody tuned in. SportsRap Radio shows the group page if you can't get on either one of their pages.
Alright, you all ready? You all ready?
Yes, sir. All right. Thanks for calling in.
Alright.
Now, so with that being established, like I said, they want players, coaches, and governors, which means they want to have some players involved. And that part I think is very, very important, because the players are the ones who are out there risking their bodies, risking their lives, because we're in COVID right now,
Right.
and out there playing. The owners and a lot of
To
the
entertain them at home.
entertain them at home, and the majority of the players, like you just mentioned also, could very well be in similar situations that you or myself could be in, as like I like to say every now and then, the average Joe or the average working man.
Right.
So with them making that stand, how does that make you feel? where you know you have people that are, like we said, up in that upper tier.
LeBron, all them doing it.
Yeah.
Word. That's what's up. I seen Giannis. I seen
Right.
everybody. Word. That's what's up. Word. That's what's up. Now all the black community coming together, no matter where you at, what you doing, what you got going on. Word. They be like, man, we'll stop right now. And if this don't stop, we gonna stop right now. We not playing. That's what's
Right.
up. You feel me? I mean, that you standing for something, so you don't fall for nothing. But
Right.
they've been tricking us for too long.
Too long.
Way too long. We're
Yeah.
not no puppets. We're not no monkeys. You're not gonna tell us when we gonna do what. We gonna tell you. So that's what's up. You see, you know, we got the best athletes in the world. You feel me? So like,
Good afternoon, caller. State your name and where you're calling from.
Nails, I'm calling from Delaware.
now,
The city for Nails, I'm calling from Delaware, man.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? My guy up there, I'm trying to turn him up some, man.
Cease Drive.
Absolutely.
Shout out Big Coco, man.
Yeah,
What did you
I
think?
mean, big drive, bro. Big
Right.
drive.
big drive.
What did you think of the song we just played?
Oh, that's a banger, you feel me? That's definitely all hits, no misses. All bangers right there.
Hey, absolutely, absolutely. I love the support.
Guys,
Definitely, definitely. That's what's going on though. Big city for us, you know. That's her thing right there.
Cool.
we appreciate y'all.
That's it.
All right. So, yeah. Now we have, like you said, you've got players from LeBron James making a stand, and one of the things I also wanted to mention, there was a quote, not a quote, but a little talk from Robert Horry. Very, very emotional. And as a black man, or as black men, I think if we have a voice, we need to get our younger black men and talk to them early. The situation with Robert Horry, he was on the show and he was talking about the situation with Jacob Blake, and then he went on to mention about how he talks to his kids about how to deal with the police.
Right.
And one of the things that I felt was the strongest statement in that whole discussion was the simple fact that he wanted his son, and I'm just paraphrasing, he wanted his son to know what to do in the event that he was stopped by the police. He told him, do everything that this man says, make sure you're doing what he's following the rules and whatever. He said, because I don't want him, because he could end you, I don't want him to end you, but if he ends you, I'm going to end him.
Right.
And then he went on to say, I know I shouldn't have said that, but that's real. And I understand he added that in because of where he was. He was on TV. But the way that he said it was heartfelt. And I knew that it was genuine, and I knew that he meant it. And I feel the same way about my son. My son is 12, 13 now. So he's beginning to be out and about on his own. You know, just last year before school started, he started taking the bus home by himself. He walks to the store every now and then by himself. And I need him to be very, very cautious and very attentive as to his surroundings, especially when it comes to the police. So how do you feel about that when you give back to the community? Do you talk to these young men?
Yeah, of course. I talk to them every day. See, I'm outside, you feel me? So if I'm around, I'm breathing through. I'm in the neighborhood. I'm gonna go talk. I'm gonna go to the trenches. I'm gonna be, you feel me, wherever I want to be. I'm outside. That's why everybody messing with me. Whereas if you pull up in the neighborhood, you can run into me. I mean, it ain't hard to find. Or I'm telling the young boys every day. You feel me? It's crazy because most of the niggas that I hang out with, like even little, they all younger than me. For real. So I be, let me trying to tell everybody.
And that's a good thing.
Right, right. Because it was supposed to, like everybody, I already told you about everybody from my age bracket for real. They ain't here no more for real. You feel me? One just came home. But
It's very, very important that our younger black men have someone to look up to other than their parents or parent.
Even somebody, like, you gotta be accessible where they can call you. You feel me? Like,
Right.
if they got a situation going on, he got multiple older niggas he can call me, you feel me, Matt B, you feel me, he can call niggas and be like, yo, and I can tell him like, nah, little bro, don't do this, or you feel me, whatever.
And you have to understand that, or people and parents sometimes have to understand, the gentleman or the young man may be more receptive with the information from the older guys that he sees in the streets. And it's no disservice or no discredit to the parents, but parents, you're not going to be with your kids all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I just said, my kid is now starting to
And it could be some people, parents that's doing a great job.
Right.
But if y'all blocker, whatever, the nigga that's running y'all blocker, calling shots on y'all blocker is a weirdo, your son liable to do something weird. You
Right.
feel me? Because he liable to make him or tell him to. You feel me? So
it takes a lot. Like they say, it takes a village to raise a child.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you have to meet that child where he is.
Absolutely.
And that's what you just said. You
Right.
said the guy that's running the block could be a weirdo.
Yeah, we just don't move like we move
Right.
like the old days. Like we gonna be respectful
and
to the older.
that's a lost art.
Yeah, you
now.
feel me? Like that's just how we move. That's how we
Yeah.
come. We speak to everybody.
Yeah, I commend you. I commend you for
everybody
that.
older than us, we ask them how you doing. If they got bags, we trying
Mhm.
to carry them in the crib. That's just how we is. You feel me?
Right.
Like, we got like
And see, that's
Southern
what I said.
hospitality.
That just proves that statement is true. You can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Because not coming at you or anything like that, but I know people will look at you and might say, "Oh, nah, he don't need to whatever." But your meaning and your dialogue and your perception of yourself is very, very different.
A lot of people, they look at me, right? And then once I start talking or having a conversation with them, I'll be smarter than them.
Absolutely.
So they be like, "Oh shit, yeah."
Caller, state your name, where you're calling from. All right, hopefully they will call back. I like that you say that and stressful, and the simple fact that you are a college graduate. I also work at the Youth Study Center here in Philadelphia, and there used to be a time when we had Juvenile Justice Week where they would have the judges and some of the sheriffs and other people come in and talk to the kids, parole officers and things of that nature. Now, at that particular time, I could go to work just like this.
Right.
So however I feel comfortable, I can get up and go to work.
Right.
And a lot of times the kids would look at me and say, "Well, dude, like, how you taking their side?" No, it's not about me taking their side.
Right.
What I'm trying to show you is this is what needs to be for you. This is the road that you need to take. And I'm not saying that you can't do what you do.
Right.
I'm saying when the time comes, you need to be able to talk to these people in the right way,
Right.
with the right vocabulary.
Right.
You need to be
Can't
able.
look ignorant.
You need to be able, if possible or if warranted, to put on a suit and sit at that table with those people.
You gotta know what's
It's
going
a
on.
reason, if you ever get in one of those boardrooms or anything, it's a reason that you don't see a lot of us in those boardrooms, in those meetings. It's a fear. And it's a double-edged sword with that fear, because the initial fear is the stereotypical bullcrap that they make available to themselves, where he's got dreadlocks, he's got tattoos, he might not be a good decision to have in here.
Right.
But I could get in there and blow that whole room up with just talking to them.
Right.
You know, it's about them wanting to constantly control the narrative.
Right.
And like you keep saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything,
Right.
which is so true. And a lot more of our young people need to take heed to that, because you can be whoever you are, but when the mood comes or when that moment comes, you need to be able to, at worst, stand up for yourself. You need to be able to talk to these people, and that gives them even more fear when you can, because now they don't know what to do with you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, for
So-
sure. Knowledge is power. You already know that.
Absolutely.
They don't like that. That's one thing that they hate. They don't like a knowledgeable black man. When he
That's
know what
right.
he talking about, he knows what's going on.
It
He don't-
shocks the
he don't gotta
cowboy
get-
crap out of them.
Yeah, he don't gotta get belligerent and ignorant. He can sit there and have a conversation and explain what he's trying to say without getting mad. You feel me? Like all that
Yep.
matters. You feel me? It really makes you show that we grown as a people, and like, you feel me? Because we got some of the smartest people in the world too, just like it's any other race. You feel me? So
I mean, we probably are the smartest. Not probably, we are the smartest. I mean, everything,
Yeah.
pretty much everything that's in us or around us in society was created by
right,
black men.
right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
Things so simple as the street light.
So we as a people though, we gotta stop acting like we don't got that part. You feel me? We don't got that education too. Like, or we don't. We wouldn't like. Cause it be a lot of people that
Don't be ashamed of it.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. It be
Yeah,
a lot of
don't
people
be
that's
ashamed
smart,
of it.
real smart,
Yeah.
but they play dumb because they want to fit in. Like, nah, if you an honor student or whatever you supposed to be, Man, do what you do,
Do
cause
what you do.
I was one of the worst kids in my school for real, but I got honor roll. So they used to be pissed off when they used to have to call me in the assembly and say, "Oh man, he got honor roll, man. Let him come get I need my award."
I had an instance with my son when he was in maybe 4th grade, and my son is just a friend maker.
Right.
He'll be in a room and he'll see a kid sitting by himself. He's gonna go immediately talking to that kid. Now he was at a school. I'm not gonna say a school, whatever, but the situation basically was my son was a little bit more advanced, a little bit quicker than everybody else, and there were times when he would stop doing stuff to try and fit in.
Right.
And when I talked to him about it, one of the things he said to me, or the main thing he said to me, he said, "Well, Dad, I didn't want to come off like I was being too smart." And I had to take a step back for a second before I responded. But what I told him was, I said, "Son, don't ever take that back seat. Be who you are.
Absolutely.
Don't ever think that you are, quote unquote, too smart to say something, because they're going to look at you differently." And ultimately what they did was, instead of the teacher giving him more work or having him read more books, she wanted to say that he was disruptive, but he was helping his friends in the class.
That's what they do though.
Heat 100 Radio, caller, state your name and where you calling from.
Your son Money tapping in from Seas Drive, real to Delaware.
Son.
Big Loco, shout out my big cuz doing his thing. Feel me? Keep applying that pressure, man.
My boy.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Appreciate you, gang.
All right. Thanks for calling in. So, let's talk a little bit about some more of your community involvement. The Stop the Violence charity game.
Yeah.
What brought that about? What was your main focus in having the Stop the Violence charity game?
Yeah, I was born in Wilmington. For real, that's where I grew up at. For real, then I moved down to Lower Delaware to like Middletown. You feel me? So I'd be like in the county a lot. You know? I went to high school in the county and all that, but like middle school, elementary school, all that. You feel me? Boys and Girls Club days, everything. Where I met my first friend, you know, that I'm from Wilmington. You feel me? I was born at St. Francis Hospital. So you feel me? I grew up over West Side for real. So it's so bad now. You feel me? Like I know you probably hear about Wilmington a lot. It's so treacherous down there. You feel me? I had to do something to help to show that I ain't like, you know, a lot of people, as soon as they start getting success, they don't do nothing to let them people that you grew up with or where you grew up at know that you like you gonna help as soon as you can. You feel me? Like that was just me telling them, like, cause I ain't, feel me, I ain't get a deal yet, I ain't get signed yet, you feel me? So when I do, you feel me, like, where that's one of the first places I'm gonna help for is Wilmington. The rip, you feel me, where it got to. It's just like, it's so bad, but it's bad because it's nothing to do. It's really not a lot to do, you feel me? It's not places where you can go safely party at and have concerts and like it's just not a lot going on, you feel me? So like, and that goes for the whole Delaware as a whole. So that's why a lot of stuff that's going on is going on, you feel me? So like, I just be trying to give them like some hope, you feel me? Do something positive. We had to Stop the Violence charity game there, you feel me? It was free. We just took donations and gave them to the Boys and Girls Club. Boys and Girls Club, William H. Anderson Center. That was one of the first places I ever played basketball at. So we had a game, feel me, raised up a whole bunch of funds and we gave it to the center, you feel me? And I paid for everything. I paid for all the food, everything, you feel me, out of my pocket. And this is while I was still in college, you feel me? Or this is while I was still in college. I was a sophomore or a junior in college, you feel me? So gotta always do, I just wanted to do something. I always gotta do something. When you see stuff going on, don't sit back and watch. Try to do something, you feel me? To bring people together and make them like, have a good time and realize, like, man, we ain't always gotta be on BS. We can just, you feel me, have a basketball game or have a league or have a barbecue or you can do something, you feel me?
Yeah, I think that's another thing that a few people or some people in our community take for granted, where they may come up with an idea, like you just said. You see something that you don't like, say something, do something, and it could be something just as little as you just saying to that group that's there, look, y'all don't need to be doing this, yada, yada, yada. Even if they still go and do it, you said something. People have to be mindful that a step in the right direction is better than no step at all.
Facts,
Peak 100 Radio, call it. State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, this is Bree. I'm calling from Delaware.
Stack.
Hey. What you got
Hello?
for us? Yep, we here.
Hey, you here? I heard CD4L Loco was in the building. I just want to say what's up.
What's up, Stacks?
What's up, gang?
You on? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
Shout out to Stacks and Got Souls too. That's where I get all my heat from.
What is that?
I said shout out to Stacks and Got Souls too. That's where I get all my heat from.
Come
Yeah.
shop for sure.
Word.
Follow me on Instagram, Stack Got Soul.
Fact. C4L.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling in.
Yup. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. So, what was I? Where were we? Yeah. You have to do something. And a lot of people think that maybe, oh, well, I just said something to that group of kids. There was only about 5 kids over there. It's not going to make a difference. If you make a difference to one of those 5 kids, you've started something. You've created something. And people always get tentative with that fear that I'm not doing enough. Anything you do is enough, especially to the point where we are right now with what's going on in society. Anything that you do is a step in the right direction. So hopefully Loco will keep us informed when the next game is and we can get to Delaware, or I can get to Delaware and be down there and get some footage of the next
going out
game.
there too much. Right as of right now, police be being weird. So I just trying to stay out of there. Till all this stuff that they got going on. It's always
Absolutely.
I don't want no running the police like everybody
Yeah,
else.
absolutely.
And then my way, the police don't like me, so I be trying to stay and watch how they
Right.
fight.
And I mean, especially now, like you said, especially now,
Absolutely.
with everything that's going on, along with the general stuff that we see from on a daily basis.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Peak 100 Radio, call us. State your name and where you're calling from. All right, that person may not have wanted to say anything. So, with all that being said, folks, we've got Local here, CD, Cecil, CEC Drive. The movement was in the building today. All this video is up, from my point, on Facebook, the group page, SportsRap Radio Show. You can get over there and check that out. Some of this video will also get up on YouTube later in the week. You can get there, SportsRap TV, and check that out. I've also been notified that I've been tagged in some stuff on Instagram. So check out the official Loco CD4L on Instagram, and he's going to give you all his tags in just a minute before we close out. I enjoyed the conversation. I'm blessed and thankful that I could be the one to give you your first interview.
Shit, thank y'all for having me too. My bad, I was late, y'all too. I spilled my drink on my shirt. I had to go get red word. I ain't even gonna catch you. I spilled my whole drink on this shirt in the car and then I was hot, wasn't I?
The whole McDonald's.
Wow.
I was pissed. I had to stop and water real quick, grab his shirt, you feel me, change, then hear him come over here.
So you've heard a lot from him today, and I hope that some of the gems that he dropped you will take to heed and you will take with you, progressing on with life and things that are going on around us today. So before we close out, I was going to say, Cecil, Local, anything you want to say to the kids or anybody that was tuned in that might inspire them or have them have a better outlook on things that are going on today?
Man, look, if you got an opportunity, whatever it is, to be great at something that's positive, man, take advantage of it. Don't choose to do the other thing, you feel me? The other thing always gonna be there, and y'all know what I'm talking about, you feel me? Like, take advantage of something positive when you got it. You can be involved in a clothing line or a gym or to play a sport, or I don't give a damn if you the best person at chess and you the king of the chess club. They give scholarships for that too. Whatever you got going on with the right support, you can get a scholarship to go to school for it. I don't care what you're doing, ballet, whatever, you feel me? Like,
very
just
important,
excel
yeah.
at something positive and focus on the positive. Try not to focus on the negative, because that's what they want y'all to do. They're going to throw y'all off, get y'all to focus on all this negative stuff they got going on in the world and become a part of it. You can, man, just stay positive. Rest in peace to our guys, man.
Long live Bleak.
Rest in peace,
Shout out to
man.
Willow. Shout out to the gang.
You know what's going on.
Absolutely. So
Follow me on the gram too at official Loco.
right. Absolutely. I was just gonna say, give
What?
everybody your handles where they can find you, they can get in touch with you.
Instagram, at official logo. You can follow me on there. I got Facebook, logo Cease Drive. I got my our apparel page, CD4L Apparel on Instagram. Man, get with us, man. Shout out to all the guys. Rest in peace, Cease. Rest in peace, P Hack. Rest in peace, Jalen. Rest in peace, Phil. Free our guys too, man. Free Meek, free Park. Y'all know what's going on, man. We rock with the other side.
Free
You know what's
six,
up.
free you know the game.
Absolutely. So there you have it, folks. Another great Monday to kick off the week. We roll into September tomorrow. Happy anniversary to Heat 100 Radio. Tomorrow is our 6-year anniversary. So if you know anything about us, you know how it's going to go down the rest of the week.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of guests coming up.
Shout out to Heat
A lot
100.
of things going on. Thank you for that. And just keep in mind, it was a long road, and I'm sure you've all seen Monica's post at Simply Monica72 is her handle on Instagram. You can check her out and see what else will be coming up this week. Heat 100 Radio, call us, state your name and where you're calling from.
Delaware, it's Nas. Tell Ed I said, what's up, gang?
He can hear you.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
What you on?
I'm chillin'.
My
Hey,
young boy.
gang, what's up?
What's up, gang? My young boy. Word. What's up, y'all?
That's great. That's great, man. We even got the young guys calling in.
Yeah, that's the little bro.
See
you
that?
know, I'm outside.
That's the reach that this young man has. And I'm speaking of local when I say young man, because you all know me. I got the gray in my beard and everything. So thanks for calling in. That's the reach that he has. So if you haven't heard anything from him, go check him out. Google him. Search his YouTube.
CD4L Loco, man.
There you go.
We outside.
Another great show. Enjoy your Monday. It looks cloudy. Looks like it's going to rain a little bit today. So stay dry. As always, stay safe. You know where to find me at SportsRap_D on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook is group page SportsRap Radio Show. SportsRap TV is the YouTube, the podcast, iHeart, wherever you get your podcast, and the webpage sportsrapradio.com. Closing out, we are going to leave you with 2 songs from my new friend, Loco. Enjoy. We'll see you next week and all week on social media.
Can't get a real bad 'cause I know